They weren't just bandits. They were betrayed stonemasons, abandoned nobles, and the true victims of Stormwind's corruption. This is the untold story of the Defias Brotherhood, from their tragic origins to the cut content lost that would have made them sympathetic, and why they're still Azeroth's most misunderstood villains. Trust me, some of these facts you've never heard. So, originally, they were named the Stonemasons. They rebuilt Stormwind from its destruction after the Second War, but they were never paid due to existing debts. These debts were run up due to the nobles of Stormwind expanding the Stormwind military further from Elwyn, all the way to Stranglethorn. Their lust for dominating presence left the Stormwind's economy in shambles, and the Stonemasons without payment. Of course, with a huge lend and manipulation from Lady Presta, or as she was known later, Onyxia. Enter Edwin Van Clee, a genius architect turned revolutionary after being branded an outlaw. He united the Stonemasons, leading riots in the streets of Stormwind. Violent and chaotic scenes littered the city until one stray stone would change the whole future of Stormwind. Whilst Queen Tiffin Rin was attempting to calm one of these riots, a protester threw a stone, murdering the queen. This led King Varian to take these newly formed Defias much harsher. They founded a base camp in the Dead Mines, an area unguarded by Stormwind military. Now, the red masks we see in game mean anonymity and equality among their members. They would recruit far and wide, from disgraced nobles to farmers and even novice mages. They were bandits of many, many trades. And here's the first fun fact. Farmer Saudine, the one who gives us that quest to kill 15 harvest golems, was attempted to be recruited many times, but he refused due to the unjust nature of the Defias. Stealing from his fellow neighbors would never be the life he wanted. But the Defias' methods were truly ruthless. Guerrilla warfare. They burned farms, hijacked shipments, and flooded Moonbrook to starve Stormwind. And with Westfall being the main source of farmland, the Defias having their foot on the supply line was choking. And then spawned the People's Militia. And through quests, we're shown both sides, Defias as terrorists and victims. At the end of the day, though organized, the Defias was filled with thugs and criminals, terrorizing the innocents on their warpath for revenge. And down in the Dead Mines, Van Clee was plotting. His hidden warship, the Sirens Cool, was meant to bomb Stormwind. It was hidden away in Dead Mines and built with major assistance from recruited goblins, who of course always followed the gold. This huge ship became Van Cleef's tomb, when we the players were instructed to murder him for justice. Now, the second fun fact here, and just as a tonic after that murder, before we hop into some cut content, the Defias, courtesy of Claven Mortwake, a member of the Defias, used the venture company to acquire Zanzil Poison from the troll tribes of Stranglethorn in order to raise the dead. Which means that we have Defias necromancers through the Defias rogues. Poison-tipped blades that would reanimate the corpse of whoever was slain with them. This story doesn't go very far and is only given to us in a few breadcrumbs, but that is awesome. That's amazing. Now, there are many cut content pieces in vanilla, but one of them was a scrapped questline that we only got half of, where players would ally with a Defias splinter group to expose Onyxia's conspiracy. This actually would have been a continuation from the abrupt ending we got for the Defias in Dustwallow Marsh, the leftover band that aided Onyxia in the kidnapping of Varian Rin. Blizzard really left us breadcrumbs everywhere, and I wish they would have gone with this option as opposed to the Marshall Windsor one we got in retail. Now, there is also alpha footage mentioned on an archived MMO champion forum, showing the Defias storming Stormwind Keep. Most likely cut due to time or probably resource restrictions, but this would have been awesome to see. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show it, but unfortunately some of those archived forums, their links to either images or videos kind of lead to a dead end. But it was too awesome to not mention, so if you can find it, please let me know. Of course, little off script there, but the Defias video would not be complete without mentioning the human heritage armor either. There's a whole quest line where you actually return to Stormwind holding your Drakefire amulet that we obtained in Vanilla. And you go through an entire quest line. It includes the redemption of the Defias, as well as a few other things like Shaw and Vanessa sort of teaming up and really just cleaning out the last remaining thugs and bandits that were left in the Defias. It's a really awesome story. I can do a whole video on that as well if you are interested, so please let me know there too. But the original Defias questline itself is etched into the history of World of Warcraft. As an Alliance player, the first villain you truly come across, the first dungeon you really do, is uncovering and abolishing the leader of this Defias revolution. And yet it raises so many moral objections and questions around what is right. These people were only fighting corruption, yet the people they surrounded themselves with, the people they recruited, were not. They were not just. They would steal and loot and terrorize, and we had to put a stop to that. Born of hardship, the Defias weren't just villains. They were a warning about greed, corruption, and what happens when kings forget their people. What do you think? Were the Defias in the right, or were they just a bunch of bandits? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into lore and cut vanilla content, please don't forget to subscribe. We have the Grim Batol video coming out this Saturday, and I'm doing some digging on the Scarlet Crusade at the moment too. So please stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely day.